fire to the waves. Hot takes every day. We ignite the craze. Turn up the dial, it's the boys with the heat. Dropping knowledge like a bomb, got you out of your seat. JJ Reddick, man, why you talking the smack? We break it down, facts, all facts, never lack. China's got a giant, 7 feet tall. From Bangkok to Taiwan, she's dominating them all. Future of the game, yeah, you better take note. Dropping buckets in the lane, opponents can't cope. I'm boys with the heat, bringing fire to the waves. Hot takes every day. We ignite the craze. JJ Reddick talking trash, we set the record straight. China's got a phenom, yeah, she's rolling the paint. Come Nick, David, MVP, even when they lose. Boys with the heat, we got nothing left to prove. We ignite the craze. David on the ice, he's the king of the rink. MVP status, man, what did you think? Even on a losing squad, he's the brightest star. Skating circles round the rest, yeah, he raises the bar. Hot topics, hot takes, every single day. Boys with the heat, we're the truth in the fray. Bringing light to the facts, never falling back. From sports to the streets, we attack on the track. Boys with the heat, bringing fire to the waves. Hot takes every day. We ignite the craze. JJ Reddick talking trash, we set the record straight. China's got a phenom, yeah, she's rolling the paint. Come Nick, David, MVP, even when they lose. Boys with the heat, we got nothing left to prove.
Nice.
I like how it doesn't say Connor McDavid, it's a Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid.
Bro, the world is seeing my eyeballs right now. That's not okay. Baby, I need my
you
burgers.
lost your sexy specs. Where's the sexy
burgers.
specs?
I've been wanting to bring them to you, but I thought you've been live like 4 times now.
No,
Oh, it's fine.
I'm live now. Thanks, honey.
Without the glasses even.
Oh.
I'm blind.
Oh. It's like
This is what the world looks like outside of the shades.
The world can see my eyeballs.
The world can see me.
No.
The world sees me for who I really am through the eyes.
Yeah. So what a wild week in sports so far. Get out of here, nerd. I love you.
Winter chicken dinner.
Congratulations, Florida Panthers.
Yeah, the fucking kitty cats won.
Florida
The kitty
Panthers,
cats won.
they've been in the NHL for 8 seasons. So for those of you who did not know, they've been in the NHL for 8 seasons. So when you hear the first Stanley Cup in franchise history, they've only been here 8 years. And the Vegas Knights there kind of made everyone think that championships can just be won overnight there. They're the anomaly, not the normality.
The best thing though is that Paul Maurice, 25-year head coaching veteran in the NHL,
I'm
finally
so
got his,
happy.
finally got the cup.
1,982 games, regular season and playoff. I mean, he was
Fantastic.
the #1 on that list. And yeah, congratulations to him. What a great human being, too. Just a
it's a good
down-to-earth dude, which is your normal pedigree for a championship-winning coach outside of your few anomalies such as Bill Belichick.
So you think now Kachuk and Jason Tatum are going to get together and they're going to compare ring sizes?
Oh man,
Now that
yeah,
they
high
both
school
got a
teammates,
title?
weren't they?
High school teammates,
Yeah. That's a fantastic story too. Congratulations to both of them.
Hopefully they do. ESPN as a 30 for 30 on that.
I'm just glad
Cool.
Kachuk remained who he was and didn't skinwalk into 57 different individuals while he was doing his championship walk tour. That was
Oh,
just,
yeah.
Oh my God. Whatever.
Edgy.
You won. That's cool. I'm not trying to take anything away, but damn. Be yourself.
Yeah,
Damn,
you be
yourself.
you and don't be weird.
Holy shit, Kevin Garnett. I meant Steph Curry. God damn it. Kanye. Jason Tatum. I'm sorry, that was really hard.
Jason
I
Tatum.
understand why it was so hard for him now. It was hard for me to just simply keep with Jason Tatum there.
That ego acted like about 6 different people, so it's okay.
was-
We
it was-
figured it out.
It was crazy. Do you think that unlocked a little bit of perspective into what he has been doing in his off time before the championship? Just literally watching teams celebrate a championship?
Probably.
Like, is that something You do. I've won championships before and many different things. I've never, leading up to it, looked up how to celebrate afterwards. It's always just been an in-the-moment feeling thing, right?
I think you envision it, you dream about it, you talk about winning it, you have the arrogance of confidence, but
I don't
to look
dream
it
about
up,
being other people winning it. I dream
Yeah, I
about
don't-
myself winning it. So
you're
how
talking-
in that moment where you're just blacked out with excitement, you're now reverting to other people?
Are you talking about the fact that he thought he wanted to memorialize like Kobe when he did this? Like he was thinking like he was in his shoes.
I love the photo, the one real moment, right, in my mind.
Yeah.
The one was the photo with him and his son Deuce there.
Yeah.
And with the confetti falling. And I was like, man, more of that. Less Kevin, Steph, and Kanye, right? Like more of you and less. So hopefully he gets another chance at, well, as Milwaukee Bucks fans, hopefully not.
But I think you, me, and Paul were all in consensus that they are probably the favorite for the next 2 to 3 seasons. So good for them.
I can see them winning 2
I
and
can't
4.
hate on a champion. I cannot like them, but I don't hate on them.
Oh, yeah. I have issues with the game. I try to keep that with the game. I try not to bring the player into the situation.
Right.
But in this case, I had no choice.
This was the situational celebration that we brought up.
Yeah. So, getting back to Lord Stanley's Cup real quick. So, the Conn Smythe Trophy winner there, I believe you and I are a little bit on separate pages. Now, to base this foundation, I do believe that Connor McDavid is the best player in the NHL right now. And I do truly believe in a handful of years, the conversations about him and Wayne Gretzky are going to get louder. I truly believe that with everything inside of me. But nothing about what I watched these NHL playoffs led me to truly feel like a player on the losing team should have won that trophy. It makes no sense to me. And you brought up in the pre-show,
Yeah.
because I felt like Bobrovich should have won it. If the Oilers won the Stanley Cup, I thought it was a no question Connor McDavid. But with Florida winning, and the way Florida did end up winning, not so much how they lost 3 games, but more how they won Lord Stanley's Cup, I just felt like Bobrovich deserved the goalie-given trophy. Like, we get upset in the NFL about the MVP going to a quarterback, right?
Yeah.
But it's a quarterback trophy. So it's just not named quarterback. It's named MVP, and that pisses people off. That's the same thing with the Conn Smythe Trophy here. And, it's befuddling to me. And like I had mentioned, in pre-show, you had brought up the 3 games they ended up losing in those Stanley Cups. They lost terribly because of this individual. And I have a hard time arguing against that. But the Conn Smythe Trophy isn't about the Stanley Cup Finals as much as it is about the Stanley Cup playoffs in their entirety. And Bobrovich was a dog. And Connor McDavid did surpass old boy in points.
He did something that only 3 hockey players all time ever did. He scored like 42 points in the playoffs. Only Gretzky and Mario Lemieux had more.
And now for your casual hockey fans too, points they're not just scoring goals.
Yeah.
And they're not just the first pass to the guy that then gets the assist, right? In hockey, you can be the guy that makes the first pass.
The setup.
And if that pass then is passed 1 or 2 more times and then there's a goal, you're still gifted a point. So now, the only reason I bring that up is because while points are fantastic, we're not sitting here talking about this dude scored the most goals in the NHL playoffs in one playoff season, or he had the most assists in one season. He just made a lot of really good NHL plays that led to his team losing the Stanley Cup final. It feels like it was a participation trophy for Canada, who hasn't won a damn Stanley Cup in 31 years.
Yeah.
And you bring, I don't know, because in our line of business, is any attention unnecessary or not bad? Because here we are talking about it.
Any attention is probably...
any attention is bringing eyeballs.
It's accepted for eyeballs, yeah.
Because not everybody agrees with me. In fact, in this room, I'm only 50%. So if I'm arguing about it and you're arguing back, it's going to bring other conversations. So it's good for the NHL.
Yeah, I understand that he probably should not have won the Conn Smythe Trophy, but the issue is I think he should win the Hart, which is the MVP. I think he won it last year. He had
I don't think there's a
100
question.
fucking assists this year. That's just fucking
I don't
crazy.
think that. Yeah, he's a fan. He makes his hockey team better, but what I would have loved to see personally is him just receiving one fucking point in the most important game of his career. No other games mattered up until that point. It would have been his first Stanley Cup. It's the most important thing in that dude's profession, and he didn't show up, and you gave him the MVP playoff trophy.
This says more negativity about the NHL than it does about anything.
Yeah,
about the way that they viewed it. They viewed his personal accomplishment more dignified and more approving as far as like the fans go, that he should get the Conn Smythe over Florida Panthers actually winning. This is the point where I can absolutely 1,000% agree with you on, is that the reason they should have won, was goaltending in Game 7.
Yes.
So if that's what you want to put it as, and it being a primarily, I think, what did you say, only one other time? Anybody else?
I think 3 other times.
Goalie?
Yeah,
3 other times.
Well, 2 other times. He's the third person.
This would be the third one. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, to me, you needed a point in Game 7 to receive that trophy. If you didn't get a point in Game 7, not a goal, not an assist, just a fucking point.
Yeah.
Which you received the most of.
In the third, he was this close. He had the one that went over the bar, but outside of that, he really didn't show up, like you said. Yeah,
and
then he didn't show up.
And you hear he was tired.
He didn't make excuses.
Me with that.
He didn't make excuses in the interview. Matter of fact, he seemed disappointed and very humbled that he got the trophy.
Yeah, and I thank you so much for bringing that up, Patrick, because like I said when I started this, I do enjoy watching Connor McDavid. He is the greatest hockey player I've seen since Pavel Datsyuk, who, by the way, was just inducted into the NHL Hall of Fame first ballot.
Yes, sir.
So,
I think this is
congratulations
to
Mr. Datsyuk. But even Gretzky too. You put him on the same goddamn page as Gretzky. I don't remember much of Gretzky, but I do remember Gretzky. So,
well, he's the hallowed name that everybody thinks of when they think of the NHL. They think of Lemieux. They think of freaking Gretzky. You got the Red Wings. We can go on and on about all the Red Wing players.
Yeah, me personally, I was just about to rattle off the entire fucking
Gordie Howe.
Full fucking. Oh my god.
But it's a slap in the face, Charles. 100%. You could tell the way that they were trying to like push him. Are you happy that you got this? No, he's pissed that they lost. They didn't win the cup.
The media has been telling you who they're voting for
before they do it. Yes.
Before they do it, and it's becoming fucking mind-numbing. This happened with Lamar Jackson, and now this happens because. Like, you started hearing a whole bunch of shit about Lamar Jackson, and guess who you were hearing it from? The people who have a vote. So if you're hearing it from the people who have a vote...
Got to go on your eardrums so that you hear it and it goes upstairs, and then that puts it in your mind that, oh, yes, he's winning, and you should appreciate it when he does win.
Absolutely. And it was disgusting. But, again, this isn't a knock on Connor. The kid is crazy. And the best thing that could happen for me as a Detroit Red Wings bleeder, a lover of the NHL, is that the only time Connor McDavid actually wins a Stanley Cup is when he leaves Canada and comes down to the greatest country in the world. Until then, I don't think he's going to win a Stanley Cup. Canada has not won a Stanley Cup in 31 years.
Yeah.
That is hundreds of players' careers wasted.
Arguably,
just like Mike Trout in Los Angeles.
Arguably, Edmonton's probably his best chance outside of the U.S., though.
Outside of the U.S., yes. And they're not going to get there again. I mean, people are failing to understand the sheer impossibility, or the sheer improbability of them even making it to the playoffs this year, let alone the Stanley Cup. I think they were like 32 and 36 when they fired their head coach and put in an interim head coach, and then a month later they made the interim head coach.
They went 14 and 2 or something over at the final stretch.
Yeah. This was a fantastic story. And NHL is a fantastic product. And thank God Connor McDavid's teammates showed up in games 4, 5, and 6. But unfortunately, the greatest player playing did not show up to game 7. And as the athlete he is, I'm saying out loud what he's telling himself. And why I truly do agree with you, Patrick, that
I think he's really disappointed.
about winning the Conn Smythe trophy is a joke. Me personally, I would never look at that trophy the same again. And when I win my next one, I'm going to be more pissed off than when I won my first one.
Yeah, you're going to be mad that they gave you the one on the year that you lost the freaking cup. Yeah, it's gonna leave a tainted, very bitter taste in his mouth for the rest of the season. The next year, he's going to be pissed. Next year, he might have 120 assists because he might be pissed. 50 goals, 120 assists. It's never going to happen,
But when you move away from the personal accomplishment, Lord Stanley's Cup takes a team. And Florida Panthers had a team filled with players who knew their role and loved each other. They went to war with each other, more or less. And I feel like I have the right to say that. It was fantastic to watch, but you can see also how fucking difficult it is to win 4 in a row when you're playing the best of the best. Because during the regular season, the Edmonton Oilers had lost 3 games in a row 4 times. And those 4 times after those 3 games, they then went on to rattle off at minimum 8 wins.
Yeah.
You can do that in the regular season when you're not playing top-tier talent over a stretch of 8 games.
It was crazy, though. That first period was 1-1, and it freaking into the second period, and then all of a sudden, Florida went up 2-1, and that freaking arena just freaking erupted, and it was crazy. And then the third period, you're expecting Edmonton to come out with their bruisers and freaking put their D line out there. I thought it was going
overtime, bro.
Power play, and then all of a sudden he misses. McDavid has 2 shots, I believe, one in the late in the second and one in the third. One deflection goes high, and then the one in the third, it's crazy. The one in the third, he literally he missed it.
One of the most beautiful sounds in hockey when you're on the other team.
Yeah.
And no afterwards. I love that shit.
But there were so many good plays in that game. There were so many good plays in that series.
Yeah, the
NHL playoffs were fantastic. I was like, it's 3-0. They're going to win tomorrow. It's going to be a sweep. And then all of a sudden they win one. And then the boobies come out. And then they go on the run and they would win. And then, it's a cool story. It sucks that it had to end the way that it did with controversy. And then Florida's just, okay, whatever, we got the cup. But y'all did my boys dirty when they were coming back next year and trying to repeat, which they might.
Well, I mean,
they might.
They very well might. They lost last year's Stanley Cup Finals.
Yeah.
Like to lose and then be able to come back. See, and last year it's like, oh, Florida, they were hurt all season and then got healthy at the end of the season and went on a nice little stretch to warm themselves up and made it to the. But you have to. The reason I'm fearful for Connor McDavid not making it back isn't because they lost. It's because of how they made it to the playoffs.
They got hot. It's not like
they just got hot at the end of the season, and that can happen for anyone. And teams around them are getting better.
Right,
because
and you need
they're
to
winning
keep
enough.
that.
Yeah, they're winning enough to not receive players in the draft.
Well, just say what it is.
Compensations. They're having to pay these players. Now we're running into the business logistics of it. And Canada, for 31 years, has been terrible at the business side of the NHL.
Well, just say what it is. Can they continue to play with a chip on their shoulder after this decimating loss? Can they take this into the season next year and be like, hey, we got shafted. Can we do it again? And probably isn't going to happen. Edmonton is out in the West, and they've got a fairly decent group of teams. You've got Vegas out there. I don't even know who's good anymore in hockey, to be honest with you. Who did they beat out to get there?
Hockey's got a lot of really good things going. Dallas is doing well.
Dallas. Oh yeah, it was Dallas. My bad.
You've got Dallas.
Sorry, Joey. Sorry, we forgot about Dallas, Joey.
Yeah, the Dallas Stars, they're doing really well.
Minnesota Wild.
Minnesota's hot. The Detroit Red Wings.
I think
are
even
hot.
the Colorado Avalanche were okay this year.
Yeah, you have
there's a lot of good teams.
The original 6 don't stay down for very long.
No.
And people, this shit with the Detroit Red Wings is an anomaly. People need to understand.
Hey, they almost made the playoffs this year.
Yeah. If it wasn't for
They were
a colossal collapse.
Yeah, they were up 2.5 games with 6 to play, and they pissed it away.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So the Montreal Canadiens in 1993, who played for them? They ended up beating the Kings. That was the last.
The La Kings.
Yeah, that was the last one. 1993 NHL Stanley Cup roster. Okay, let's go to the co-pilot. Guy Charbonneau, a member of, expresses that an Oilers Cup win would be good for Edmonton. The last Canadian team were the Montreal, the Oilers were looking to follow, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we'll have to look into that a little.
Shout out to all of our Canadian fans, but I hate to say it, and I said this on someone else's post. I think it was Josh Tyler's post. I said, you know what? I said, I don't care. Keep that fucking trophy in the United States. Those Canadian commies with their maple syrup and their maple leafs don't deserve the frickin' cup. We keep it here in the United States like it's been for 30 plus years.
My favorite part of
John Candy.
No, my favorite part.
Maple syrup going over the American flag. That was my favorite part of the movie.
My favorite part of the Stanley Cup final, right? My favorite part of the Stanley Cup final. It wasn't the Oilers chick. It was the fuck Trudeau sign. That was my favorite part. That was my favorite part. I hope it was real, but yeah.
Oh, I'm sure it was real. They had a lot of cool signs there. You can tell that Canada is they're like the United States, but it's like a step cousin type of hatred for their policy and their government and all this stuff. They don't like it, but like the things that they think are funny to us, it's dude, there's people protesting in the street to do that every day. You guys do it one time at a sporting event that you guys get on TV.
Hey man, good for Canada.
Really good for them.
But yes, no, I agree with you indubitably. Edmonton is their best chance at winning a Stanley Cup. I think they've got a 3 to 4 year window.
Because it's definitely not the Maple Leafs.
We'll see how the money...
Or the Canadiens.
Yeah, we'll see how the money boils itself down.
The Vancouver Canucks.
But,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah. Ottawa.
All right. Let's touch on this J.J. Reddick thing real quick. Do you have any of his presser clips? Or should I give you a few moments? Pull up some presser clips while I give us a little status on Jay Reddick. So Jay Reddick's career, 12.8 points. So 12 points, not 13. 12 points. 2 rebounds, 2 assists per game. His best seasons came from 2013 to 2020, where he had a 7-year stretch of averaging at least 15 points a game. His only head coaching experience is that of a children's baseball team. Now, I've been around for a little bit, and there are things that happen as precursors that you can go, oh yeah, I can see it. Yeah. In this example, we'll go Jason Kidd.
Right. I'm ready when you are, so you had to go ahead and hit us with it.
Jason Kidd was a individual that you heard often while he was playing and shortly after he stopped playing. That dude is going to be a head coach in the NBA. Not one damn time did anybody ever say that with J.J. Reddick. So go ahead, let's pull this up. Let's hear some of these clips and we'll talk about it after.
I think in industry in general and in sports in specific, sometimes it's easy to get caught up in patterns of being in a sea of sameness and doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. But
this sounds like something
when we embarked on this search, it was really important for us to see if we could do something a little bit different. And
there he is.
My motivations for doing this, it starts with a very simple foundation of service. I think about the greatest moments, especially towards the end of my career, was about helping players. And so it starts with the desire to serve players,
it wasn't
to
about
serve
rebounding
the
or
Lakers
assisting.
organization,
You didn't do
to
that
serve
very well
our
either.
fans. It's also about competition.
But you weren't very competitive.
55 Swiss League champion in the 3rd and 4th grade division.
Cool.
Like, I understood.
9-year-old kids.
Yeah.
Kobe Price, Southern California News Group. Got one for both you guys. But first, JJ, two-parter. Do you plan on coaching in both summer leagues? And how is the process of putting together coaching staff come so far? Are there any names you can, I guess, tell us that you're targeting or bringing on?
No names for you.
Yeah,
Very unique in holding all those qualities.
Playoffs. The Boston Celtics, the Dallas Mavericks, the Pacers, the Timberwolves. It wasn't about the individual. It was about the group.
No shit. All right. Well, basically, what I get from this is he's going off script.
Let's just go off of the facts. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he has.
Do you put a team together? What about your coaching staff? No comment. No comment.
Yeah, he'll have advisors. Coach K will be a massive advisor, but it's not going to be successful. Okay.
No,
let's
look who the fucking team is.
That's what I was just about to say. Listen, let's say Dan Hurley takes the job, which was a sea of sameness, according to Rob Pelinka, which is probably why they lowballed him an offer.
Because they knew he was going to try to bring culture and freaking.
But let's say Dan Hurley is the head coach.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think the Lakers are a favorite to win an NBA championship?
No, because LeBron's leaving if Hurley comes.
No, not in this magical scenario. I see what you're saying. Not in this magical scenario. LeBron James, everyone's fucking there. Yes, I agree with you because he wants his butt buddy Jay Reddick. But my point for this is about the Lakers right now.
Yeah.
Are they a championship contending team?
No, they might not even be a playoff contending team.
Okay, and that's with Dan Hurley as their coach.
Dan Hurley as head coach. Yeah.
Okay, so what makes us think that J.J. Reddick is going to be a championship-winning coach?
Zero, zip, nothing.
So how can he go up there and say, fuck you, to anyone who has that thought? Because what you're doing is you're slapping in the face all of the other coaches in the NBA who did it through this process. Just like this stupid fucking NBA draft that's finally getting a 2-day, for the first time ever, 2-day coverage.
Tomorrow the NBA draft's on, everybody.
We watch sports all the time and had to look up that Nikola Jokic was a fucking second-round draft pick.
I didn't know that. Paul told us that, right?
We had to look it up, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Paul.
Shout out Paul. But how can you sit up there and say that? The only reason he got the job was because of he ran a podcast with LeBron James. That's it. It's the only reason he got the job.
This is why. Yes, exactly.
Okay, because just like Jason Kidd with the Nets got his fucking ass destroyed.
Yeah. Good luck. That's all I can say. Good luck.
So what are the Lakers doing?
I don't know. Realistically, this is very sad. Like, I think you, me, and Paul had this conversation. Jerry West would be rolling around right now if he saw this. Kobe would be absolutely just appalled by everything that's going on. None of this shit makes sense to me. None of it. I'm not a huge follower of the Lakers. I do love basketball. I love the NBA. I love what the NBA stands for. I don't like a lot of teams. I don't like that the Boston Celtics won another title. But hey, it's Boston. They're going to win eventually. Right. They're Boston. Fuck.
Yeah. It's just like the Green Bay Packers. We've got a Super Bowl coming in the next 5 years.
Yeah, if you're a Bears fan like Paul, it just happens. Sometimes you just fall on one.
And we'll be talking about Green Bay
here shortly. The Bears. Yeah, I don't get it either, Charles. It doesn't make any sense. The Lakers are the most miserable fucking franchise in sports right now, probably. They
were gifted the pandemic trophy. They were gifted the pandemic trophy.
Then they hung that was an in-season banner.
Nobody even talks about it, dude. Nobody even talks. Like, when they won it, everyone was like, is there an asterisk on this? And the winners were like, no, never.
The teams that made it.
Nobody talks about it.
Didn't the playoff teams make it at 29 and like 20?
Yeah, they played like a 30-game season.
Because everybody was sitting out, nobody was playing, and nobody would play a full
every
game.
Other day, somebody would have a positive C test, and you wouldn't see them for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's life. We all made it through it.
But yeah, you guys won that championship. Good job. Okay, so we do know that's a bullshit championship because nobody talks about it.
You might as well call that like the simulation championship.
So the only thing Genie Bus has done is brought a bullshit championship, a bullshit banner,
Yep.
and has literally yanked the dingleberries off of LeBron James for the last X amount of years. You're going to bring his son into it. You brought his podcast host as your head coach.
That's the thing, Charles.
This isn't a fucking local
thing.
bro.
Milking
This isn't a local minor A fucking team in a town of 30,000 people or a town of 100,000 people. We're talking about a professional NBA basketball organization.
Charles, you're not doing it justice. This isn't your son's 9-year-old fucking basketball team.
Oh, yeah, I did miss that.
That's the way you need to put it. Yes, you missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Retake.
Yeah, this isn't your basic son's 9-year-old championship game. We're talking about the NBA, the National Basketball Association, the people with the audacity to call themselves world champions. And you're going to tell me that your best option for the Lakers
is a
podcast host? That's fantastic, bro.
That's
you realize this is going to open doors for us,
Open
bro.
fucking doors. Open the doors.
You can't tell me that I don't have a better chance. I've got a better chance than JJ Reddick. Are you kidding me? Bro, I took a basketball team, and this is the sport of basketball at that.
Yeah.
They were like first and second graders. Fourth and fifth graders. They were fourth graders. And they had never won a game. And by the end of the season, they lost a game by 1 point.
That's what we should do.
It was fucking awesome, dude. It was fantastic. It was one of the coolest things of my life. Parents were coming up to me. They were so happy for their kids. They were so happy. They seen competitiveness.
Yeah.
They were fantastic.
I can love it. Love that. Love that energy.
Let's see.
Teamwork.
I tell you what, Milwaukee Bucks might end up needing a new head coach, and because they have so much money on the books for other head coaches,
podcast hosts are very cheap.
Guys.
We're cheap.
We're super guys. Cheap. All right.
Well, Charles and I will actually work for half of what you guys would pay a regular coach.
Yeah, and we don't like LeBron James, so that's
we don't
easy.
like LeBron.
That's easy.
Matter of fact,
I respect the game.
Charles and I won't ignore any press conference. We'll be there with microphones in our faces at every game.
Yeah. In fact, we'll even continue doing the podcast afterwards.
Yeah.
And we'll bring players on, and it'll be a whole thing.
Yeah.
I think we've got a shot, bro.
Winners.
Think we've got a shot.
Fucking winners.
Do you know who earns
their
Milwaukee. Position?
Get on it.
Do you know who earns their position? Executives in the NFL.
I was going to say team managers.
Yeah, executives in the NFL. The NFL, while we laugh and yell from time to time, the NFL is the greatest North American sport for a reason. It's because it's not a fucking shit and pony show for the most part.
Yeah.
You're not gonna walk in with Micah Parsons, podcaster, as the next Dallas Cowboys head coach. Right, you don't run into these situations. And just as the Green Bay Packers recently did, they stayed in house with a Mr. Edward Policy, fantastic individual, heart of gold, head of football, family of football. His father, Mr. Policy, for the 49ers. What was it? The 90s.
Yeah, he basically built that giant that we know of championships with the 49ers. I believe it was the early 90s. He came along when Steve Young, Joe Montana were both on the team.
Carmen Policy. Yeah. Carmen Policy is the former executive for the San Francisco 49ers and Cleveland Browns in the National Football League. He played a significant role in building the 49ers into a 5-time Super Bowl champion team. It's clear that football runs in this family.
Oh, yeah.
When you ask the internet, who is Edward Policy? Edward Regis Policy, born October 6, 1970, is an American football executive.
Shout out October.
He currently serves as the Chief Operating Officer, COO, and General Counsel for the Green Bay Packers. Prior to this role, Policy was the Commissioner of the Arena Football League. Recently, he has just been elected as the next Chairman of Board, President, and CEO of our Green Bay Packers. a position he will officially assume in July 2025 when our dear friend Mr. Mike Murphy retires. I think that it's a fantastic route. He was short-picked off of a list of 90 individuals. 90. It ended up coming down to, I believe, 10. And I don't know the exact numbers, but a major portion of that was in-house. After the news had broke, multiple local news medias went around to find fans and executives to give their piece on Mr. Policy, and it was all great things, from his coworkers down to knowledgeable fans. They were all very excited. We're all very excited. I'm reading through social media groups. There's a handful of people who are upset that something about New York lawyer or something along those lines. I'm not.
You know, you're never gonna be a people pleaser with everybody 100%.
100%,
loving everything
yeah.
you do.
Yeah, there's a small portion of people complaining that he's more about the money than he is about championships. But in his presser, the guy didn't just tell you his mindset is championships. The fucking guy created a soliloquy about it, basically. And it ended with him going, "The Lombardi Trophy is our North Star." Meaning all signs, all roads, all avenues lead to Lombardi Avenue, which is weird because it's also where he does his normal 9 to 5.
He's just talking about where he goes to work. That's his GPS. That was his GPS navigation.
Wouldn't that be so shit? He just comes out, listen, I fucking GPS and shit.
I was just telling you guys I was going to work every day. I'll be going to work every day, 9 to 5.
Goddamn. So that's very exciting. It's very exciting for the Green Bay Packers. This was a shadow. It really was. It wasn't for your casual fan, and maybe more so your everyday fan, but for those of us digging in, watching constantly.
Wasn't your splash, but it was definitely the right hire.
Absolutely. I truly believe that. I think that, and this individual, what was it, 1970 was his birthday?
1970, so he's 54 years old. Yeah.
So we should get a solid 15, 20 years of just great leadership. And that's what we're looking forward to.
He's going to have his first draft next season, and guess who's going to be there? Us.
We'll be there.
Can't wait.
And they have been passing out tidbits of information on the setup or the potential setup of this draft. And let me tell you what, all worries are being pushed aside. They are doing wonderful things for this. I mean, you're not going to get 750,000 people in one day, but I have a very strong belief that the numbers for this year's draft are going to be around 450 to 575.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see 450,000 to 575,000 new people. So that's going to be fantastic. And for those of you who... Oh, God, what did Wisconsin do? They started the I-41 project, and the draft is next year.
Yeah, they started it. We went up north the other day, and
It's bad.
we were both like, oh, this is bad.
It's bad.
This is bad. This is a bad idea.
This is a terrible idea.
And it's 3 or 4 different sections. So it's like you hit it, it stops. You hit it, it stops. You hit it, and then it goes again. Because everywhere that they're building the overpasses, they have a mile in each direction of construction.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fucking stupid because you hit it, boom, boom, then you hit it back up by Kakana again. You're like, oh, man.
How long did it take you to get up north?
Ooh, like an extra 25, 30 minutes.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah. So instead of 3 hours and 45 minutes, it took like 4 hours and 15, 420.
Oh, how long did it take you to get to Menominee?
Oh, I don't know, like an hour and 50 minutes.
Okay, yeah. So it's about 20 minutes worth of construction. That's not terrible.
No.
That's not terrible.
It could have been worse.
No,
Yeah,
it's annoying. No, I don't want to. Oh, no, hold on now. You and I are talking about taking a cruise up north. Let's get back to the 500,000 new people that are about to be having to traverse this shit.
Well, right.
It's going to add hours onto it, bro.
Chicago or Milwaukee, these big air people flying in.
Bro, we might have to go to Green Bay the day before and then just stay at a buddy's house or my in-laws. I'm serious. I'm serious. Yeah, I'm serious.
I know we ain't getting a hotel room.
No, I'd get shot. I'd get shot if I bought a fucking hotel in Green Bay. Are you kidding me? Hell yeah. The father-in-law would take me out skeet shooting and he'd miss on purpose. if I bought a fucking hotel in Green Bay.
No,
yeah.
I just meant as a joke. There's no way you're finding.
Oh
one
no, I
anyway,
know.
so.
No.
I didn't think we'd
I know
ever
exactly.
get one.
Oh,
I would
we
never
could.
get one.
I
but-
bet we could. We could. Yeah. No, I
Oh, we could get one and then sell it on the street, like freaking hawk it. Be like, here you go. We're scalping our hotel.
Why don't we
room
get
reservation."
Airbnbs and then sell our resell our Airbnbs
Dude,
to recoup our money and make more
those
money?
Airbnbs where those dudes are doing. We could be the guys that were doing the podcast on that little deck porch. We could be doing our podcast. We rent that house out. We get like 10 people to all pitch in $500. We get that.
1,500, I promise.
Oh yeah, it's probably
1,500.
way. Yeah, it's probably like 50, it's probably like 20 grand for that.
We're talking Lambeau Field, player. Yeah.
Yeah, all you gotta do is hop the fence to get into the stadium right there.
This ain't Atlanta. You know what I mean?
No.
That's very exciting. Let's finish up on a little Brewers news. Brewers just signed Dallas Keuchel, former.
How is he doing this season?
Former Houston Astros. Let's find out. I think he's coming off injury. Dallas. You're gonna make me fucking spell it. Yeah, I wasn't too far
He was
off.
with the Minnesota. He was with the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah.
But then he was with the Mariners. He used to be a freaking good pitcher.
Former Cy Young winner Dallas Keuchel. As a trade, the Milwaukee Brewers have acquired former AL Cy Young winner Dallas Keuchel
7-4.
from the Seattle Mariners in a cash
13
trade.
starts with the Mariners this year.
Was on a-
Mariners AAA affiliate, Tacoma.
He was on a minor league contract with Seattle, although it's unclear whether the Brewers will immediately promote him or to stash him in AAA. So I get this move. I do. I
Well,
wholeheartedly.
they got it for cash. They got him for cash.
Wow, I mean, we're so injured, bro. We have got to
yeah.
be the most injured team in the MLB right now, and
If
for
this
us
guy
to
can
still
come
be
in
in
and
first
give
place.
us 5 or 7 starts this season in the majors, and even give us like 5 innings, it's fucking worth it.
Reese Hoskins with a grand salami last night to beat the Rangers.
Yeah, they're losing 1-0 right now. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, who do we got on the mound? David Ross. I think I promise you.
It's crazy how the Brewers, these guys have come in out of the minors, these young guys, and they've pitched their asses off, and they're not getting any run support for them. These guys will go 7 innings, and they'll give up 2 or 3 runs. It's like, that's plenty, dude.
Oh, yeah, we got Wilson on the mound. And I love Pat Murphy to death, but there is a reason this dude has been in the MLB for so long, started off as a starter, went to the bullpen, and I get it. We need depth. But if Wilson doesn't get his ass on the line, he's going back to the bullpen, and Keuchel's coming up, and I promise you that's what we're waiting for. Or another injury, but Freddie needs to get his shit back on. Tobias or Myers, no, because Tobias is fucking, he came up, did great, injured, Tommy John surgery.
Yeah,
Myers is a dog, finally getting a little bit of run support. I'm really loving this kid. But again, we're just limping through till we get our ace back next year, and Brandon Woodruff, who we did sign and solidified him for basically the end of his prime career. So if we can get 6 to 8 quality starts from Dallas after the All-Star break, we've got a great chance of making it into the playoffs. And playoffs are different. And Keuchel was part of a playoff winning team. He understands the atmosphere. He would be a very valuable asset come playoff time if it pans out. That'd be very exciting.
You ready to see the 7'3" Chinese basketball sensation, Charles?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. At standing a impressive 7'3" tall with a 10'4" reach, Zhang Zhu. 7'3" Chinese, 17 years old basketball player. Unfreaking believable. Have you seen any of the stats? Like I think she had 36 versus New Zealand. Paul likes to bring up the fact that her feet are very slow. I like to bring up the fact that she's 7'3".
Yeah. Yao Ming's feet were slow too, bro.
Yeah, Yao Ming still dominated the NBA.
Oh, I miss Paul. I love that guy.
Yes, I get what he's saying. But does China, with this This phenom, they're playing in the FIBA World Cup right now, I believe, the basketball. So she will be on their Olympic team. There's no doubt. She has to be.
Yes.
She has to be on their Olympic team.
Yeah. And then we'll see.
I mean, she can't play every minute of the game. It's what they play 2 20-minute halves in World Cup play or World Championship play.
Yeah.
So she's probably going to play a good 32 minutes.
You play her the first 17 minutes. You take her out. You play her the last 4 minutes.
Right. I don't know what China's got outside of her, but
yeah, you play her the first.
You get 36 points a game from her. You got a good shot of medaling. I don't think they're going to win the gold, but you got a good shot of medaling.
If I was the coach, I'd play her the first 7. I'd then
give her a 5-minute breather.
I'd sit her until the last 4 minutes, and then I would sit her the first 3 minutes of the second half, and then play her the rest of the game.
Because you can't fall behind by too many. You got to keep putting her back in there to get the easy buckets.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I truly believe that would be your best case scenario. I don't know athletics of the individual at the top of my head, but
7'3", you're probably not going to be, you're not a track star. No, by no means.
Nope. So it would be an endurance thing from there, but when you got a 10'4" wingspan, you don't got to try very hard to make a basket.
There was one where I don't even think she was blocking women without even getting off her feet. And on top of that, she blocked the girl's shot from the free throw line, and the ball hit her like in the shoulder. That's the arc that they put on the ball. It hit her in the shoulder when she went to go swat it.
Yeah.
Like she's intimidating.
I've been watching the WNBA.
It's crazy.
I've been watching the WNBA a lot in the last
You watch a lot of them
months.
under the basket. They just chuck up shots.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right. I'm going to tell you right now.
No idea where the rim is. They're just throwing it up there.
This chick in the Olympics is going to have 10 blocks a game.
Oh yeah, easily.
Easy 10 blocks a game.
And she's making them from 10, 12 feet out too. She's not just laying it in.
Both Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese would be averaging closer to 8 assists a game if their teammates could make a fucking basket.
You remember how much easier when you were throwing the old Nerf ball was when you were almost as high as the rim. It was a lot easier than throwing a basketball and a hoop. So
absolutely. What a dog. That's so funny.
I'm just curious to see how the Olympics go for them. I'm going to be following that story for sure. I want to see if they at least, feed her. I want to see how she does versus WNBA competition at 17 years old.
Yeah. Fucking Spain. Spain only helped us in the Revolutionary War because British took over Florida and Spain wanted it back.
Good for them. Thanks, Spain.
Yeah, and then they lost it.
They lost it
60
anyway.
60 years later.
The Spanish-American War.
Can you imagine if Florida was still part of Spain?
It would be crazy to think of because, what would all those old people do down there? They'd all be Spanish.
The food. I know the food down there right now is pretty good, but
the food would probably be better. It can't be worse.
It definitely would be. Food would be better.
Yeah.
Do you think architecture would be so different than that of the United States?
I think they would have stuck with more of the stucco and more of the Spanish influence. They would have more clay, more.
They would have Juan Ponce de Leon the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There would have been a lot more mortar, concrete.
Yeah. Oh man, let's look up some Florida fun facts real quick. Nope, I'm not getting anything great. So, purchased.
I reached out to a treasure hunter guy who goes out and treasure hunts and actually goes into Florida and goes into the Bahamas.
Oh man, I love those. Yeah.
And he's actually recovered he recovered $1 million boat shipwreck one time. Yeah. Hopefully he gets back to me. He talked to me, but I don't think he really responded. I hoped he would. I hope he reaches out and maybe he listens to it and he says, "Man, I really want to hang out with those boys in the woods." I think it's just crazy though.
Here it is.
I can't dive. I can't even hold my breath.
Guess Florida's most purchased merchandise.
Purchased merchandise. It's got to be something really dumb because it's a touristy state. Gator teeth.
Swimwear. 602% higher than the national average.
That makes sense. I guess if you just say, technically, if you just say shorts or swim trunks or swimsuit, you probably would.
But yeah, I would have accepted either one of those. Yeah,
you
absolutely.
You would have accepted.
I would have accepted either one. Yep,
yeah.
Absolutely. It's swimwear. Yep, yeah. Going down these lists. Okay, so far we've had Missouri. And you know what? Let me do Missouri a little better. Hold on. Let me do Missouri a little better. Most purchased item in Missouri. Oh, there's an O in there. Okay, no, I can't do you any more justice. The most purchased item in Missouri is their fucking grandma cookies, bro.
Oh, really?
Junk
It
food.
is the grandma cookies.
In Missouri, the most popular junk food snack. What the? Stop it, Bing. No matter how I ask it, it continues to come up. So, Missouri, you're stuck with grandma cookies until somebody can tell me or show me statistically something different. So we've taken you away from soybeans. We're now setting you firmly on grandma's cookies. Grandma's cookies. Good old Missouri. And then you had Alabama, their most purchased item, asking it the same question the same way. Alabama Crimson Tide gear. Roll Tide. And then now we're into Florida. Florida's most purchased item, swimwear, coming in at 602% higher than your national average.
All right. I got a state for you. Idaho.
Are we going to do 2 states in one episode? Or do we do Idaho next episode?
Idaho next episode. I'm just giving you an idea because I think that one's going to be different.
I went to the middle of the country first. It got super upset, so I'm like, I need to get to a coast. And California is probably like air fresheners because people are farting so much.
It'll be
interesting to see California.
I'm not even going to tell you what I'm thinking. It is California.
It's definitely not cheese curds, Jordan Love.
No, it's not cheese curds. I really want to get him on here. I will pay $250 worth of cheese curds just so he can try them all. Just because I want him to pick one. Because we want those words coming out of his mouth that I like cheese curds.
Yeah.
And they're these ones that he holds up the bag.
You know what else?
Then he gets us a sponsorship with that cheese company. Perfect.
Yeah. So your souvenir shops, your souvenir items, they did come in as a top 5. 272% higher than the national average. Surf shops, this 230% higher than the national average. So they even beat out old California.
Yeah, they got lots of coast. Florida's got a shitload of coast.
California's so fucking expensive. You are only affording a surfboard if you're homeless.
Yeah, that's all you got. You use that thing as a freaking surfboard. You use it as a freaking shade. You use that thing to fight off seagulls and kill fish. And it's your fucking sword.
I do got to go 6 through 10 here because this is funny. Yeah. All right, guns and ammo stores, 185% higher than the national average.
I can see that. Florida's one of those states. They're one of those states.
Now I'm coming in at number 7. Hilarious in all senses. Drugstores.
Drugstores? Yeah.
179% higher than the national average.
You think about how many elderly people are there and how many prescriptions they need to get filled. Yeah.
So then you have tobacco shops. So the 8, 9, and 10 department stores, 171%. So that's tourism.
Are the tobacco? They're probably included with the marijuana.
I don't know. Well, I don't know because number 9 is tobacco shops, 167% higher. Number 10, vape shops, 159% higher than your national average.
Speaking of marijuana, did you see that Michigan took over the number 1 sales of marijuana in the country?
Yeah, that was only a matter of time.
That's crazy.
I love Colorado, but they're hippies.
That's crazy. That's crazy though that California is not number 1.
Hold on now. Wisconsin hasn't legalized it yet, so Michigan's numbers are inflated.
Yeah, but still, California's got like 5 times the people as both states combined.
All right, well, yeah, but most of them are fart-smelling hippies, bro. Let's be honest.
I know.
You don't got a lot of time to leave your house when you want to catch every fart.
You saying that they're all right? Never mind. We're not going to go there. We'll go to California.
We're getting to California later on in the episode.
Yeah, we'll get to
California later on. I want Paul in here. I maybe want Mike in here too for California.
Yeah, they got to get that one in there.
Yeah. Florida was a good one.
Did you see? I asked him, "How good are you at MLB The Show?" And he's, "I'm Bahama bad."
Yeah. We got our first win though. Game 1, we played a game online. We played a tester. We went up early, and then I ended up giving up a 3-run double. Yeah. Yeah. And then, so we were down 2. I think, we were down 2 going into the 7th. And then we ended up putting up a 5 spot in the 7th. And then the closer came in, and I fucking struck out the side, playa. Hoo-yah! It was real nice. We ended up getting our first win. But co-op does have a 3v3 mode, so it's perfect. I mean, yeah. So it'll be us three.
When I practice more and I get more confidence, we'll do a 3v3.
So tomorrow, Paul and I will be on Twitch.
Nice.
So this is Wednesday for those of you who are catching this on the later dates. We will be twitching Wednesday nights, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Nice.
So consistency is key with that. Absolutely. That'll be exciting. Yeah. So we'll be hitting the show, and we'll also be doing NCAA.
Yeah, I'm in on that one for sure.
Yes.
I will do the Wednesday Twitch with that one. I need to get a capture card, apparently. Like, I can stream from my Xbox, but then I would have to do the video this way.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, you're just going to do it that way?
Yeah, it's so much easier this way. Yes, because I can do so much more with the stream via the computer. Like, I utilize Streamlabs, and I'm able to do way too much.
I already have Streamlabs on my laptop, on my computer, my laptop, and I'll have to transfer my account over to this.
Because when I stream on the Xbox, I can't see the chat unless I'm actually also a viewer, like on my phone, the tablet, or the iPad, or some shit like that. So it's just easier for me. Yeah, what I'll end up doing, though, is I'll have to maneuver one screen sideways on the desk, and then I'll have to bring the other screen over. It'll be a process. That's why it's a once-a-week thing for a couple hours.
Yeah, that's good. I'm good for that.
Yeah, so we'll have a presence, a very good one at this point. I'll be very happy with our presence. I liked the 2 episodes a week. I wanted to somehow push us to 3. We've been talking so much in the 2 episodes, though. There's been content for 3, but now that we're also moving to Twitch once a week, that'll allow for many more avenues, many more approaches. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah, we only got a few more weeks for the baseball to be on, and then the baseball is going to go all the way in through September into October with the show.
We got college football in 60.
Then we got college football.
Well, no, college football will be back, not the game itself. The game itself. We got
a little over a month for the game, like a month and a half, and then we start the
season starts in 67 days or something like that. 66 days.
Yeah, they got like that. There's an inaugural I think it's always like a military game. They play it'd be like Navy versus like Wyoming or something. They play some game.
because the military doesn't have a fucking off season. We're doing PT every day.
Yeah. So they're ready. They're ready to roll.
Yeah, y'all just show up and play.
Fucking hosers.
That's how that rolls. I don't got much more.
Oh, we're good. Yeah. You guys need to give me your Twitch accounts so I can locate those on the show notes.
Yeah,
and then we'll put them on the
follow,
YouTube page.
We'll get all that followed up. It's Podfessor P, twitch.tv/Podfessor P.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll send it in the old group chat. Well, for everyone out there, this is the part of the show where we like to remind you how wonderful of a person you are. The world is a much better place with you in it, whether you believe that or not. We care about you. We appreciate the hell out of you. We appreciate your clicks, your downloads, your follows, your listens, your shares. We honestly, I cannot express how grateful, not just myself, but Patrick and Paul and Mike, how grateful we are that you choose to take time out of your life
to hang out with us
and allow us a few moments of your day just to hang out. That's so awesome. And I hope, and I know, and I can speak for Patrick on this also, we hope one day to be able to create events where we get to meet all of you. I have a big problem with fandom, and not in the sense that you would think. I have an issue with the narrative surrounding adult fandom. Some of us didn't get the opportunities as children to go see our favorite football players, to go see our favorite baseball players, or to go. So us as adults living out childhood dreams, we sometimes get berated for it, sometimes get thrown to the hogs, we'll say. And at times talking with somebody who lived that life, that got to see it as a children, it's like playing fucking tennis against the drapes. So here at the show, we love all of you. big, small, tall, large, and in charge. But we don't give a fuck who you are. We're just fucking glad you're here. We love you more.